Hello, and welcome to the Oregon State University Ecampus Admissions and Financial Aid Information Session. We appreciate you joining us today. You'll notice at the bottom left of the screen that we have text captions available. If anybody would like to have the closed captioning service live, you can go ahead and use that link. Our presentation should take about 20 minutes today, and then we'll have the rest of the hour for your questions. There is a question box on the right-hand side of your screen. Please type your questions in as they come up during the webinar. If you do have questions that we're unable to answer during this information session, we will email those answers within the next few days. You will also be sent a recording of this webinar within the next 24 hours for your reference. So I'd like to introduce our presenters today. I'm Olivia Bogdan, and I work in Enrollment Services here at Ecampus.
Hi there, my name is Angelique Lara, and I am with the Office of Admissions here at Oregon State University.
And I am Colin Arnold, and I'm an advisor in the Office of Financial Aid.
Thank you. So it's been brought to our attention that some international students are attending today. We're really excited you're here, but this webinar is geared towards domestic students and won't be that helpful for you. You're more than welcome to stay and listen, but we'd love for you to get in touch with one of our enrollment specialists, and they'd be happy to speak with you about applying as an international student. You can reach them via email at ecampus.oregonstate.edu. And then we also have our phone number on there, 800-667-1465. I noticed that there is the @ sign missing for email, so that's in between the eCampus and the Oregon State. Put an @ sign to get them by email. Thank you. Okay, let's go over our agenda today. First, we're going to talk a little bit about Oregon State eCampus. Then we're going to go over how to apply for admissions. And next, we'll review the tuition rates. Then we'll go over how to apply for financial aid. Then we'll have time for the questions and answers, as well as some web resources for you. Okay, let's get started. So, eCampus is a team here at Oregon State University that delivers Oregon State University education online. We are located here in Corvallis, Oregon. Our team members work with faculty to create online courses, and we also provide support to our online students. Our online students are Oregon State University students. We share offices like admissions and financial aid. We have the same admissions process, and students here have access to many of the same resources as on-campus students. The one thing that is different is our students attend online. So we are ranked top 10 in the nation for the 3rd straight year in a row by the U.S. News and World Report. We are regionally accredited by the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities. And OSU is a research institution and is only one of 2 universities in the whole nation that hold the Land, Space, Sea, and Sun Grant designation. We have been doing distance education here at eCampus since the 80s, but started our online programs in 2002. Over 4,000 students have earned an OSU degree online since 2002. We offer over 1,100 credit courses, including 8 language sequences and 20 chemistry courses and labs. We have over 20 undergraduate degrees and over 25 graduate degrees. So here are a list of our current undergraduate degrees we offer, and there's a few that I want to point out that have some differences. First is our computer science degree, which is a post-baccalaureate degree, and so that's designed for someone that already has their first bachelor's degree. Next is our foreign language degrees, which are French, German, and Spanish. These are immersion programs, so they do require a 10-week study abroad, and that's a place-bound component that we want you to be aware of. The last degree I want to point out is our sustainability degree, and that's a double degree, which means you must be working on a different undergrad degree here at Oregon State to go ahead and work on the sustainability one as well. Next, I'm going to talk about the academic year here at OSU. So we're on a quarter system, not a semester system. This is common on the West Coast, and it covers the same 30 weeks of coursework, but it's split into 3 parts instead of 2 halves. We have 3 terms in our regular academic year: fall, winter, and spring. Our summer session is a regular 11-week session, but it has some shorter sessions included as well, 1, 4, and 8 weeks length. It's a great opportunity for you to catch up on some credits or to jump ahead. For an example, you can complete an entire year of foreign language in just 1 term. Next, Angelique's going to talk to us about applying for admissions.
Hello everyone, Angelique here. Let's get ready to talk about this application process. So in order to get started, you're going to go onto our website, and we'll be providing you that link in a little while. But you'll click on that link, and you will determine if you are an undergraduate student, and that's a $50 application, or a post-baccalaureate student. An undergraduate student is going to be that student who has doesn't have a degree or might have a degree, but typically this is a student who is pursuing their first undergraduate degree. Then we also have a post-bac student. This is a student who has a degree and is looking to go back to school to get another degree, but can still use some of the coursework that they have previously used from an accredited institution. And with that being said, so post-baccalaureate student is a student, let's say, someone who might be doing computer science. Would be a post-baccalaureate student, or let's say somebody that came to school and maybe has a business degree but decides instead they want to study psychology. So that would be a post-baccalaureate student. Next is a non-degree seeking student, and this is a student who is just taking classes for leisure, or maybe is taking classes, taking some prereqs in order to apply for admission. I just want to make a quick note that even if you are a non-degree seeking student, that does not guarantee your admission into Oregon State. That just lets you simply take classes for leisure. All right, so next, let's talk about applying. So you will go to our website, you'll hit the little link that says apply now. From there, you will get an email. After you go through the application toolkit, you'll get an email that gives you your login information, and then you'll be able to get that going so that you can create an account. Now, do note that Microsoft emails do not work. I tried this myself to see if it works, and it does not work, and I want to make sure that everyone is aware of that. So like I said, you'll start with beginning the application. So you'll follow that through, and you'll go through the different steps. Now, one of the things that it will ask you about is our degree partnership program. This is a program where you can partner with a community college here in the state of Oregon or in the state of Hawaii, and you can take courses at both institutions at the same time. Now, I know that some of these do offer classes that are online as well as in the physical campus, so you'll just need to be aware of what classes you're wanting to take if you're taking those online. You'll apply for Ecampus. You are an Oregon State student, you're just an Ecampus student. You'll continue on the application. Now, we will ask you for all of the coursework from the different institutions that you have attended. So let's say you're applying as a first-year student and you haven't gone to any community college. We would be looking at those admission requirements, and we would be requesting your high school transcript, your GED, whatever it is that you might have. For the most part, I think the most of you are probably transfer students, so we will need all of your transcripts from any institutions that you have previously attended. So making sure you get all of those to us. We do communicate with you. We'll let you know what we received, what we're still looking at, if we need additional documentation. Now, the decision does take anywhere from 2 to 5 weeks, so here's the deal. The earlier you can apply, the better. If you decide, I want to attend Oregon State winter term, apply now. Apply as soon as you can. If it's spring term, apply now. But the sooner that you apply, the better. Just so there's no hiccups, and the longer that you have, the more time we have to receive all of the documentation that is needed. All right, let's say you are admitted. Yay, congratulations, you're an Oregon State student. There are some steps that you need to take. The first of that being our advanced tuition deposit. So this is a confirmation. This means that you are intending to enroll at Oregon State. This is a $200 deposit that goes towards your tuition for the term that you are starting, okay? So what happens at this point is any credits that you have taken at other institutions, we have a team that will actually go through those and see how they would transfer over to Oregon State. So all that articulation process will take place. That is refundable up until 3 weeks before the beginning of the term. Postbacks, active duty, and veterans are exempt from the ATD. If you have any additional questions on that, you can either call or visit or email that email.
Thanks, Angelique. We recommend applying for the winter term by November 1st. And as Angelique mentioned, there is 2 to 5 weeks time frame for the admissions decision. So this 9-week time frame of applying by November 1st will leave you plenty of time for the steps that you'll see on the screen right now. If you have any questions about those, we'll have the Ecampus email and phone number there at the bottom, so please get in touch with one of our enrollment specialists. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about the tuition. So most eCampus courses, the current undergraduate rate is $288 per credit, and that's a flat fee, whether you're in-state, out-of-state, or out of the country. So an average course is about 3 credits, so that's $864 for a 3-credit course. The College of Business and the College of Engineering have differential tuition rates, so their credits are charged at a different rate. You'll see those corresponding rates on the screen right now. If tuition does change, it usually occurs in the fall term, so you'll want to go ahead and pay attention to the website for our most current tuition rate. And again, that email or that URL is at the bottom of the screen. Other costs that you might have besides your tuition is going to be textbooks and proctoring, which is someone's watching you take your exam. There are free proctoring services, but not everybody has access to that. Now Colin's going to go ahead and share with us information about financial aid.
Thank you, Olivia. Again, my name is Colin Arnold, and I'm an advisor in the Office of Financial Aid. So I'm going to talk about the steps that you can anticipate in order to apply and be awarded for financial aid. First and foremost, you need to complete that FAFSA application, which is the free application for federal student aid. I emphasize free to make sure you go to the .ed.gov website, because there is a .com website that will charge you for something you can do for free. So complete your FAFSA, be a degree-seeking student, and be enrolled at least part-time. If you meet those 3 criteria, you should be eligible for some form of federal aid. The full list of eligibility is also available at the studentaid.ed.gov website. So the FAFSA application is completed online. In order to complete your FAFSA application, you will need to sign up for an FSA ID and password. This is your username and password, and it will also act as your signature at the end of the application. Students and parents will each have their own ID and password. When you go to the FAFSA website now, which isn't listed up here on the slide, but I want to make sure I address it, you will see both the 2017-18 and the 2018-19 FAFSA. The current academic year that we are in is the 2017-18 FAFSA, so that's the FAFSA application you will need to complete for the upcoming winter and spring term. You can go ahead and get that 18-19 completed while you're out there, and that will be something that we'll pick up for the next academic year moving forward along in our terms. When you complete your FAFSA, it generates what's called the EFC, which is the expected family contribution, and that number is used to determine eligibility for need-based aid. So what happens after you complete your application? That information is then sent to OSU for review. If we need additional documentation from you, we will be notifying you of that via email if there's outstanding requirements. I do like to note here, our main source of communication with students is your OSU student email. So make sure after you've received your admission to the university that you set that up and keep an eye on it, because that's what we'll be communicating with you. After your application review is completed, you will be awarded financial aid. We always award students the most that we can based on their eligibility. For those students who are a dependent undergraduate student, meaning that they have a parent or guardian on the FAFSA, your parent will also be eligible to apply for a Parent Plus loan. that information will be part of your financial aid award, and post-baccalaureate students are not eligible for Graduate Plus loans. So the different types of aid that you will see on your award. The first one is grants and scholarships. That is aid that does not need to be repaid and most commonly consists of the federal Pell Grant or the Ecampus grant from OSU. You will also see loans offered to you. They come in two kinds, the subsidized loan and the unsubsidized loan. The subsidized loan is considered a need-based aid, and the difference between the two is that the subsidized loan, the interest is subsidized while you're in school, which essentially means it doesn't accrue interest while you're enrolled. So for financial aid, as I said at the beginning, if you remember, I said you have to be at least half-time to be eligible, which is true. However, financial aid is always set up on the assumption of full-time enrollment. So for undergraduate and post-baccalaureate students, full-time enrollment is 12 plus credits. There's also a 3/4 time, and then the half-time is 6 to 8. Again, you can get financial aid at half-time, so 6 or more, but you do need to notify us if you plan to enroll in fewer than 12 so we can get your financial aid set up appropriately to your enrollment level. So at this point, the priority deadlines have passed for the current academic year of 2017-18. That doesn't mean that you can't apply and that we won't be able to award you financial aid, but keep that in mind. Federal loans are still available, grant funding, things like that. And then please keep an eye on your student online services, your student portal, and your OSU student email, because that is where you will receive your information and communication from our office. At the bottom there, we have our phone number and our email address. We have one financial aid office on campus, and we serve all of the Corvallis campus, Cascades campus, and Ecampus students from that one location.
Thanks, Colin. So that's all of our presentation for today. Now we'll have time for your questions. Once the questions, when we're answering the questions, we'll have web resources up on the screen. I have also uploaded these web resource sheet as well as the entire slide deck as handouts for your use, so feel free to download those from GoToWebinar. And please note that these handouts are only going to pertain to our upcoming winter term that starts this January. The College of Business would like to invite all prospective students interested in the Business Administration degree to attend the College of Business upcoming webinar on Tuesday, October 17th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. The link for this upcoming webinar will be included in the follow-up email from today's webinar. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, if we're unable to answer any of your questions today in our information session, we'll email out those answers to you in the next few days. All right, so let's see what questions we have today. All right, so our first question there is, am I transferring from California? Is this okay? So you're definitely welcome to transfer from any state. If you have more than 24 semester credits or 36 quarter credits, you'll be considered a transfer student. There are a few requirements for transfer students. So you'll want to go ahead and look at the admissions requirements for your student type, and you'll see that link there below admissions. Okay, this one is, I am a transfer student. I have a GED, but have never taken the SAT. Do I need to take that before I apply?
So if you are a transfer student, so if you have over 36 transferable credits, the admission requirements are on our website, but it is 36 transferable credits. That means that 36 credits will transfer over to Oregon State. It's a 2.25 GPA. You're in good standing with all institutions that you have attended. You have Writing 121 equivalent and a Math 105 equivalent, as well as our Insight Resume responses, which are 6 short answer behavioral-based questions. All of this information is available on our website. So with that being said, SAT or ACT are not part of those requirements. That is for first-year students where you do need the SAT and or ACT.
Thanks. So now we have a question about financial aid. It says, so if we are enrolling for winter term, financial aid isn't available anymore because priority deadline has passed?
No, sometimes that's confusing. So winter term, which starts in January, is still part of our 17-18 academic year, and that FAFSA is still available, can still be completed, and we will still award you aid for it. However, the 18-19 is also available, so I just like to mention that for students so they can just get a head start on the next year and go ahead and complete both while they're already thinking about FAFSA.
Okay, our next question is, I am returning to school at an older age. Are credits from 16 years ago transferable?
So, for the most part, the answer is going to be yes, unless the school no longer exists or something weird has happened. But for the most part, you should be good to go. We do have a course equivalency page on our website. So what this is you would put in the particular institution you're looking at, and then you would see if the classes transfer over to Oregon State. Now, as long as another student has taken a class there, it'll pop up. It might not pop up, but as long as it's regionally accredited, there should be some sort of reference on our course equivalency page.
Okay, this is a question about transcripts. From a California community college, is there a difference in what transcripts are required if an AA or AS is obtained instead of merely the transfer unit?
No, there's so just to kind of, it all depends on what type of degree you're going for, and so they're going to have different requirements, depending on if something is a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor of Arts, but there is no preference to one or the other. It's more so how far ahead are you on your course requirements.
So this one is, I have never taken an online class. Is there an opportunity to try out an online class through OSU Ecampus prior to applying or beginning a degree program? So there are a couple of options for that. We do have a course demo where you can kind of try out Canvas, our platform that we deliver the classes. But if you wanted to go ahead and try out a whole class, you could apply as a non-degree seeking student, which Angelique mentioned earlier. You would have to apply again to the degree program, but that way you would have the opportunity to take a class as a non-degree seeking student. So someone's asking about a post-bac degree and they've already received a bachelor's degree. So yes, if you have a bachelor's degree already, you would be considered a post-bac student. Oh, as long as your first degree is regionally accredited, otherwise you would be considered a traditional undergrad student. It says they're wanting to get their tests proctored at an experiment station for Oregon State. So test proctoring is something you'll work on once you've been admitted, and there's a form you'll fill out and give to the proctoring people. There's also a guidelines of appropriate proctors. So if they met the guidelines and they offered test proctoring, you could. Generally, tests are proctored at community colleges, libraries, universities, and testing centers. This one's about AP credits. I will be a transfer student from California and have AP credits earned and transferred to my current school. How will that be affected when transferring to Oregon State?
They will transfer right over. Just be aware that we do have You might need a 3, you might need a 4, whatever it might be, but as long as you have them, then we definitely will take them. But the good news is, we do take 3s.
This one is, what is the minimum number of OSU units does one need to obtain a bachelor's in history? So our undergrad degrees are 180 credits to be completed. Oh, and you'll need to have, you have an academic residency requirement, so at least if you already are transferring in credits, 45 out of your last 75 would have to be completed here at Oregon State. So this one is asking if you're admitted at Ecampus, would you also be able to take on-campus classes? So Ecampus students are restricted to taking Ecampus classes, but you could apply as an on-campus student and then take Ecampus classes. So this one says, I'm transferring from a California community college. Is there a way to tell if the credits I've already earned are transferable or not before applying? They want to know if their credits are transferable before they apply.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, that course equivalency tool that we have online will let you know if something transfers over 1-for-1 or if it would come over as some sort of a general elective.
So you can also contact Ecampus, and that was the ecampus@oregonstate.edu. And we do have an unofficial review that we can help you do if you are eligible for that. So this one, if they're a post-bac student, will they only need their university transcripts or my high school transcripts as well?
We will need your high school transcripts if you completed the foreign language requirement in high school. So for example, let's say you did those 2 years of the foreign language in high school, that's the reason. But if you took 2 terms at a community college or university, we don't need them.
This question is if there's an advisor they can talk to about undergraduate programs before I apply. So you can definitely go ahead and contact the enrollment service specialists in Ecampus, and they'd be happy to talk to you about the programs or applying or any other questions you have. You can contact us again at ecampus@oregonstate.edu. This one is, I think I would be a new student. I'm a veteran. I graduated high school in 1996.
So you would be considered a first-year student if you haven't gone to any community colleges or anything like that, which it sounds like you haven't. All of the admission requirements are on our admissions page. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a glimpse, we would be looking at subjects that you took from high school. We're looking at your GPA, just to kind of give you a little bit of a glimpse. And all of that is on our website. Like I said, things might be slightly different because some requirements have come into play since then that you might not have to take. For example, our foreign language requirement is after 1997. We'd have to check on the SAT or ACT. I'm not sure on that one. But things might be slightly different, but definitely contacting Ecampus and they'll be able to go over that with you.
So this one's asking if the admissions requirements are different from Ecampus or if you are applying on campus.
They are the exact same admission requirements because we are the exact same institution.
So this one is, how are semester credits transferred over quarterly? So one semester credit is going to be 1.5 quarter credits. So when the credits are considered transferable, you would multiply it by 1.5 to get the amount of quarter credits you would receive. So this one is, having already completed a bachelor's, what type of aid is available other than student loans?
So If you've already completed a bachelor's degree, you would be applying as a post-baccalaureate student, and for federal financial aid, you are only going to be eligible for loan funding.
This one is, I am an American and have credit to transfer from a California university. However, I am currently living in Ireland. Would it be feasible to live entirely abroad while enrolled in Ecampus? So yes, you definitely can get your Ecampus degree from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet access. So this one says, I have over 36 transferable quarter hours but do not have the math requirement fulfilled. Will I be admitted as a transfer student, or should I take the math requirement at a local community college?
Take the math requirement at a local community college unless you want to go through the first year admission, which even then you wouldn't. Never mind, I'm so sorry, you would not qualify because you have taken, you need the transfer admission requirements. I apologize. So take it at a community college. Or take it as a post-baccalaureate, as a non-degree seeking student.
Does financial aid cover the advanced tuition deposit?
Financial aid does not cover the advanced tuition deposit. That is paid before you enroll and before aid disperses.
So if you have any other questions, go ahead and type those in. And so for those asking about their transfer credits and how things might work when they've been admitted, you can go ahead and contact Ecampus at oregonstate.edu, and our enrollment service specialist would be love to talk with you about how that would work. So the foreign this person's asking if the foreign language requirement for the anthropology program. And as Angelique had mentioned, the foreign language is a soft admissions requirement, so you can definitely be admitted and work on that while you're here. If I take the math requirement as a non-degree seeking student, what happens after I take or pass the math class? Do I have to reapply as a transfer student to Ecampus?
Yes, so you would have to reapply. As I mentioned before, taking a class as a non-degree seeking student does not guarantee your admission to Oregon State. It is a separate process.
There's another question about taking classes in person and having a mix of online and in-person classes. And as we mentioned before, on-campus students can definitely take Ecampus classes. So if you're interested in taking both, you'll want to look at being an on-campus student and supplementing with those online classes. If I have an associate's degree but am changing my major, would I have to take all 4 years of classes to get my bachelor's degree?
No, you would not, as long as, again, you took those from a regionally accredited school, and you are going to have classes that are probably just general classes that are going to transfer over. Again, not all classes transfer over. Not all classes are created equal, but a good portion is probably going to transfer over. Just be aware that you are not coming in with junior standing.
This question is about military credits. Do you accept military credits?
We do accept military credits. There is a limit. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I believe it's 45 that are transferable. This question is about the ATD. Does the ATD have to be paid every quarter, or is it just a one-time deposit? It is a one-time deposit. So just once, and again, that goes towards your tuition in that term that you are starting.
Okay, are there any other questions? Go ahead and type them in now. So I'm not seeing any other questions come in right now, so if we didn't get to your question today, we will go ahead and answer you via email in the next day or two. And thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Colin and Angelique, for joining us today.